Warning! This podcast contains Jack and the Beanstalk. What's up, everyone, and welcome to the As Seen on TV podcast for Once Upon a Time Rewind, Season 2, Episode 6 and 7, Tallahassee and Child of the Moon. I'm your host, Dom. Joining me is Mr. Jake, Miss Nikki, and Miss Rachel. Forewarning, if you have not seen all of Once Upon a Time through Season 7, 6?
6. 7 is coming
through
up.
Season 6, just before Season 7. Turn back now. We're going to spoil everything for you. Everything.
Yeah. If you haven't seen Season 7, well, where have you been?
Yeah. No, we're literally going to spoil things. Like, turn away now, last chance. Because Rumpelstiltskin's Peter Pan's father. Go away. All right, anyway.
Peter Pan is Rumpelstiltskin's father.
Whatever. That. Anyway, so what did you guys think of these episodes?
I don't know. I've watched Once Upon a Time multiple times, all the way through until, recently. So I know a lot of people love the Child of the Moon episode, but putting these two together and saying pick which one is your favorite, I'm going to say Tallahassee.
Okay.
Even though I don't particularly like, I don't know. I feel like
I just realized my hat's pink.
Oh, you should do some oogly boogly and change it like the fairies. No, I just feel like I don't know. There's better episodes this season than these two.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I love fucking Child of the Moon is my favorite episode this season. And it's in I think it's my number 4 favorite episode in the series in general.
In this episode, I like Child of the Moon. Before, Red went to Storybrooke, she was less of an annoying. She was less annoying.
When she was Red, when in the flashbacks with Red and Snow, she was very unsure of herself, and she's very, scared and all and anxious and just stuff like that. To me, seeing her now in comparison, I find that part annoying. But I do understand why she is. It's a whole new fucking world to her. She just found out.
Yeah, but I think
we got ourselves Netflix and everything.
I think the whole the last episode we saw with her in it, her like stopping David from going after her and just being annoying, like that annoying little freaking fly flying around your head. What are we supposed to do? Bitch, you're an adult. Figure it out. And
it wasn't
that's
just her though.
I know, but
she was in the forefront because she's supposed to be a bigger character. But
when they thought she was going to be a bigger character,
exactly.
They planned an entire 5-episode arc for Ruby that they never used.
Exactly.
Yeah, one of which actually involved her and Dr. Whale. They were supposed to actually go through a relationship.
And we see inklings of that in another episode later
coming up.
Season.
Yeah.
But that's it. I think that's the last we see of her until, the brief appearances that she makes, like in Season 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I didn't remember a lot about Tallahassee that episode for some reason. Maybe I blocked it out. I think I blocked Neil out. Yeah, Neil. Oh my God, he was so horrible in this. Oh,
the part it was cute when he was like, let's just drop this, Bonnie and Clyde act and let's actually go settle down somewhere. That was cute. And she was just like, what? No. Yeah, okay. But like all the other things after that, after August intervened, it was like, you're a douchebag.
No, I thought he was before. I thought he was annoying before. And then I was like, oh, there's August. I'm very happy to see him all the time.
And I forgot he existed too. And then I remember how much I love August.
Yeah. But Neil, I was just like, okay, now I remember where it started, that my dislike for I never really liked the character, so
I love Bellfire. I don't like Neil.
Yeah, right. Well, two different actors.
I love little baby.
Little Bayfire.
Not
That's
Neil.
fine.
When he
Neil the
decided to
grown-up.
change his name, I don't. Yeah.
No.
And Neil, you make the worst decisions. And there's this awesome meme that was going around at the time of this episode and like throughout season 2 of Cogsworth. A little gif of Cogsworth and one of Neil saying, Neil says, how do you impress a woman? And then Cogsworth is listing off all the things. He says, the usual: flowers, chocolates, promises you don't intend on keeping.
Huh. Yep.
I don't know.
Keychain.
I think this is where I realized that I didn't like the character Neil at all. So every time he showed up, I'm like, why are we here again? I mean, granted, we didn't know who he was at first, but after.
Well, to us, this was just
Still, it didn't make
Henry.
any
It was just
difference.
Henry's dad. That's all we knew him as, was Henry's dad.
Yep. Yeah, we didn't know him as Bellfire or anything at this point, and
No.
It still didn't change my perception of him. So.
it's funny because you hear Emma mention where are we gonna go? Neverland?
Yeah.
And it's just like
He did get a little defensive a little bit about when she said that. He kind of was like,
Well, he escaped from Neverland before that, so I mean, he's probably like, it's a joke, but I don't like the joke.
yeah, he's like, don't mention that phrase. No,
bad shit happened. It's
that's bad. Bad.
yeah. But yeah, the whole setup and everything with Emma and that really sucked, and I understand how that leaves a bad taste in people's mouth, but at the same time, it was kind of August perpetuating that.
No, that's why I said he intervened.
Yeah, I don't think that his plan beforehand was, let me tell Emma about these watches, set her up, and get her busted. I think that he legit wanted to go somewhere with her. But when August intervened, he kind of made it that way and agreed to send her to jail for 11 months to keep her safe and protect her until it was time to break the curse. So, yeah, it kind of sucks, but can't really blame Neil for it.
No, it was
I mean,
a lot of August.
It was supposed to be like this, I guess, some kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, fate and all that crap.
Because
We
if she wouldn't have gone to jail, she wouldn't have given up
Henry.
Henry, and then Henry wouldn't have been adopted by Regina, and then so.
Yep.
August, you are the worst supposed guardian to Emma.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm gonna get the Lost references out of the way now because they all dealt with these scenes with Neil and Emma. But,
okay, let me check out.
The locker, the candy bar.
No. Well, the candy bar, yes. First and foremost, the setting, Portland, was a reference to season 3 in Lost. There was an episode called Not in Portland. It was actually pretty prominent setting of said episode. And then we had...
Portland?
Huh?
Which Portland?
Oregon.
Gone.
I emphasize the gone.
I don't care. You can emphasize all you want. You don't live here.
I don't care. And then Tallahassee was another very prominent location in the Lost universe, which was first referenced in an episode called The Man from Tallahassee. So having those two settings is very not coincidental. As Rachel mentions, the convenience store in Tallahassee did have one of the Apollo candy bars. They were selling those bars. And then even as much as going to the wanted poster that Neil was on, it's revealed that Neil is born on March 23rd, 1977, and 23 is obviously one of the big lost numbers, so that's March 23rd. And then the year 1977 was also huge in the Lost universe because it's actually the year that they all time traveled to, the first time that the island experienced time travel. So, yep, that's all the Lost references for this episode. So,
Okay.
Jake, you
Yeah,
can come back now.
He was listening the whole
Oh, I
time.
know he was.
Not really wanting to, but
No, seriously, I blanked out. I was checking Reddit.
I know that one of Alex's favorite segments here is when we mention Lost. So, but yeah, that whole flashback scene, everything with Neil was kind of rough, but we show that Neil does still want to do the right thing. He sold all the watches on the black market, whatever. Ripped off a VIN number for the car. Wants to leave all the money to August and the car and everything to August to give to Emma when she gets out of jail. I believe, which we find out later, while he does in fact leave the car to Emma, he
takes
keeps
the money.
the cash.
Yeah.
And that's when he goes traveling around the world.
Yes.
So.
What a
I want to know
douchebag.
what was in the box that he showed. I mean, we knew before it was a typewriter, but I don't think it was. I don't think showing Neil a typewriter would convince him.
Had his name on it. His real name.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was a book.
No,
one of the Lost Stories.
I remember dealing with all this, and later on, I think we do find out that it was just a page or something that just said the words Balefire on it,
which was still lame.
Yeah.
I thought there was like a dead fairy in there or something.
Yeah, it's blue. She's dead.
I think I would have liked it more if August wouldn't have been so cryptic with Neil, because he knew who Neil was. Neil didn't know who he was. And if he would have told him who he was, I think it would have gone a lot smoother and for Neil to believe him and be okay.
Neil wasn't believing him until he said we are born of the same land. And then Neil was like, his eyebrow kind of went up like,
what does that mean?
Yeah.
Now you have me. But until that point, Neil wasn't having any of it.
Who he was. That just kind of was like, there's no need to hide who you are from him.
Werewolf on set.
Oh, she got
big.
Take her.
She got huge.
Yeah,
she just crawled in
massive.
I think there's no reason. Well, there was no reason for August to hide who he was from.
Yeah, I don't see it either. Like, I mean, at that point, it's like, yo, you're Balefire. I'm Pinocchio. What up?
I mean, he's dropping these hints. It's like, quit hinting at it and just say it. For Pete's sake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't know, that story wasn't the one that bothered me. The story that bothered me is the one that spread out over these next, these 2 episodes here, and then goes a little further, becomes more prominent as we go. But the setup for it anyway, which started in this episode, when Aurora goes to sleep, she has nightmares from the sleeping curse. She sees a boy on the other side of the room, and then we find out that Henry's also having a nightmare. This, to me, because the way that the next episode has the big reveal that it's actually Henry in there, it bothers me now going to watch it, because it's very obvious, and I remember it being very obvious when I was watching the first time around too. I feel like something like this, for them to end the next episode with the reveal of it's Henry in that room, should have been less obvious.
Well, we know the reveal that to them that it's Henry in the room.
Right.
Well, what they should have done was show us the room.
Well, I don't think they thought about. I don't think they thought about. Well, Henry was under a sleeping curse too. Holy crap! I don't think they thought about that, because
he was under a sleeping course for it felt like seconds.
Yeah, it wasn't very long.
It wasn't very long, but obviously it's enough to.
It was like 12 hours.
Yeah, it wasn't very long at all, and I don't think they're thinking about that.
Yeah.
But
but it would have been more.
David knows David obviously knows what's going on because of what happened.
Well, what we could have done with is set up this episode, maybe the episode before, just in a offhand kind of comment that Henry's been having nightmares. Don't have to explain what the nightmares are. Just explain that he's been having nightmares, and then
ease into it maybe.
And then, in this episode, do the whole thing with Henry burning his hand instead of next episode, but still don't go into detail about the room or anything like that. Just I was
he
trapped.
Just started having nightmares.
Well, I know, but I'm saying just trapped. It was fire. Like I know he's just starting having. I'm saying from a writing point of view, they should have shifted the story, and said that he had a dream something about fire and he burned his hand. Don't describe the room. Just describe fire and that. Then in the next episode, we find out that Aurora is also having nightmares, and then have the big reveal be she sees Henry with the pendant, and everything with gold. That would have been more shocking, but like it was very obvious from the moment they revealed in this episode Aurora, and then they mentioned that Henry is having nightmares. He describes the room the exact same way that Aurora did. For the next episode after that to be like the big reveal finish ending was not shocking in the least. It kind of left me going, duh,
Well, a lot of people also forget that he was in a sleeping curse. So there's that.
Hell, I even forgot. Mm-hmm. And I watched this over and over and over. It was just like, I think Dom's right. They did approach that part of the storyline like in the wrong direction. Like they could have took it a different way, and then it would have resonated more with us, even as viewers. So
yeah, I'm not saying explain the logistics and remind everybody, it's because Henry's in a sleeping. They don't have to remind everybody. They could have left with the cliffhanger of, wait, what? They're in the same dream? What is going on? And then in the next episodes kind of lead up to and explain that. But when you go into the episode saying, Aurora is having dreams of a room, and it's a red room, and there's fire, and she sees a boy, and there's curtains, and then 10 minutes later, Henry wakes up in the same episode describing the same dream of the same room.
Yeah.
And then you don't mention it again until next episode, and then Henry is standing there next to Aurora, and they're talking. Like, that's not a reveal at that point. That's just going, okay, duh, you mentioned this last episode.
I don't think it was supposed to be some huge reveal. It didn't seem like it.
Well, then you don't end the episode on a cliffhanger if it's not supposed to be a reveal.
No, here's how you do it. You have Aurora explain what the damn room is, and then in the next episode, you don't end it with Henry waking up and then telling David about it. You end the episode with a close-up on Henry. He's shifting in his bed because he's having the nightmare. You go into his nightmare and you actually see the room. And you're like, wait a minute, I know what this is because we've heard about it before. And then you see, maybe not Aurora, but like just you hear her voice, and you end it there with Henry waking up.
Yes, that would be fantastic because that's more shocking as a viewer. I'm sitting there going, yeah, okay, they're in the same dream. That's very obvious. And then you go through a whole episode, and then the end of it, it's like, okay, your big cliffhanger ending is something we already knew. That wasn't shocking to me. So that, I don't know, that is my big gripe with it. It's both episodes, because the story carried between the two of them. That's my big gripe between those. Otherwise, I loved everything.
Into the next episode after The Child of the Moon as well.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. It goes into both of these episodes. It carries on further because I remember Snow goes under to talk to Henry. This is something that goes on for a long time, but the reveal was spread across these two episodes, and I think the reveal was terrible. So,
well, I think this Red Room, I'd like to know the origins of it, what it means, and because like with all the people,
I don't think they ever go into that.
No, and I think they should with all the damn people who've been on
this
fucking show.
Rumple did call it Another World. So I guess, they haven't talked about the origin of the Nether World, but like that's why he said, because when Henry got the burn, he said the further and longer you stay in the Netherworld, the more physical altercations you're going to have with the Netherworld.
Well, does it eventually go away? Because we know it does.
Snow got over it.
So do you just get over it? Is that how
I guess
works? So. So this is why we need to bring Maleficent back to explain this.
Gradually fades over time.
Yep.
I guess so.
The Dark Fairy could have explained it a little bit because she was the originator of it, but she didn't do it.
No, she originated the Dark Curse. Maleficent originated the Sleeping Curse.
Oh, the Sleeping Curse. Right. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. There's kind of a side chat going on in chat right now. They're discussing Pinocchio
The origin
still.
of the book.
And how did Pinocchio know and all that with the book. I thought it was revealed that Pinocchio knew about the book the whole time. That's why he was the writer. That's why he had already written pages and was modifying the book last season. He was adding...
He had the book. He took out his story.
Yeah, he took his story out and he added stuff in. So he knew about the book. Because that's not just something he would decide to do after being in town. Like, he knew. He went to town with that agenda. So he knew about this book the whole time. And I thought it was revealed at some point that he had the book before going to Storybrooke.
Well, we don't know how the book got from Pinocchio, if he did have it. I honestly don't remember. If he did have it, how it got to Mary Margaret, and how he even came into the book in the first place. We did go into that
though in season 5, I think it was, or season 6.
Maybe
when the book just started appearing again, like they searched Mary Margaret's closet or something, and it wasn't there. And then when Henry went and looked, it was there, or somebody went and looked, it was there.
It's a magical book. It probably goes where it's needed.
Yeah.
Well, the author is the one who writes it. And we still need to know more about the author. I think we haven't gotten much into that, and I think we might possibly next season, now that our main character is Henry, or at least we're led to believe it is, because he's still technically the author. There is no new author, or maybe there is a new author. We don't know, because there's a new storybook.
Yeah. So if the book shows itself to whoever needs it, August probably needed it at one point. And then after he didn't need it anymore,
shit he's been doing, he probably did need it.
Yeah, because he's strayed far off course, and stuff like that.
Well, because that's how the story was supposed to go.
Right, and then when he didn't need it anymore, it made its way to Mary Margaret and Henry. So, but yeah. Anyway, so outside of the flashbacks, we had the present day Enchanted Forest with Hook and the Beanstalk and all that. So Hook kind of gives some background, explains the beanstalk, the actual history behind the beans and the giants, how Jack killed the giants in kind of a war. Only one giant survived, which was the meanest, baddest giant of them all. Which I don't believe we found his name out. I don't believe he said his name was Tiny.
No.
I don't think they discussed that.
That's coming out in another 4 or 5 episodes, I believe.
And
we find out that Jack didn't really kill them per se, as James just kind of left her there.
Yeah. Which we'll find out in that episode. But
yeah.
And I am kind of looking forward to that one because I honestly forget what happens. Who the fuck said that this was the baddest, meanest giant ever?
Hook.
Like, if you made up this, if you wanted to make up this story,
great point.
there obviously, there were these Tiny, the giant. He said that only the victors get to tell the story. So you would think that James would spread these rumors that he killed the biggest, most evilest giant ever, and not this wimp, because that's what this is. That's what this giant is. He's like, for a giant, he's tiny.
He's all bored.
They explain it in his background. I remember that he was the runt of the family.
He was the littlest.
Yeah, no, they explain it in his story when we get to it. The point of, I think it's just over time the way stories morph and manipulate over time that one would assume the only giant left would be the biggest, baddest giant of them all, not
it's like
that it was spared out of pity or whatever.
I think in those times it would have been called the whisper game, but for us it's the telephone game. You say
the smoke
something
signal game.
It's been called a lot of things. It turned telephone or Johnny Appleseed. I've heard it referenced as.
It's like any oral history. I mean, something that before they started writing things down, they passed everything down from generation to generation just by word of mouth.
Yeah.
Things get added, things get left out, you know.
People embellish the story all of a sudden. Yes, it may have been
exciting.
It may have been James or whatever that was telling the story, but James may tell it to somebody, and somebody else interjected that they were there, and now it's turned into this person was there, and this person was there, and next thing you know, it's a war because there was 20 people up there, when in fact it was only 2, you know, so that's how these things change.
It just happens when you don't have, like, the technology you have now, cameras, or you're writing it down as it's happening, things get embellished.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been known to embellish a little bit on the stories that we tell too, so just a tiny bit.
Just a tiny bit.
So
that spider was this big.
And it had claws.
Doesn't that make it a crab?
Nope, spider claws. No, but the role of the giant, aka Tiny, aka Anton, was actually played by the same actor who played Hurley on Lost. So, as Jake dives to the ground.
I knew that.
But we find out that he has the magic compass. This compass supposedly will guide them to Storybrooke. Hook 100% telling the truth. It says that his allegiances lie to whomever can get him to Storybrooke first. So that's why they should trust him.
That's why you shouldn't trust him.
And then, but Hook goes on to explain that, yes, they need the compass, but they also need to get something from Korra. So, instantly, in my mind, that makes, if Hook and them have the compass, and Hook brings the compass to Korra, Korra could bring him there instantly, so, that's less effort than stealing the stuff from Korra. So, that already makes Hook more dangerous.
But Hook already doesn't trust Korra.
That's
no one trusts Korra.
Hook does trust Korra over them.
No, he doesn't.
He does
trust Korra.
He does because it comes back later, and you'll see in that episode when Korra makes the portal.
Well, he only trusts her because she can get him where he wants to go.
Right, and they can't.
She's a means to an end, but he doesn't trust her.
Right, but they can't do that, so his allegiances still currently lie with Korra.
With the highest bidder.
Doesn't mean
before going up the beanstalk, Mulan gives Emma a powder made of poppies. This was our first reference to Oz.
Second.
Second? Oh, yeah, the slippers from last... Yeah. So this is our second episode, our second reference to Oz. And
so Mulan, you travel around, don't you?
She does.
How did you get to Oz?
Or she didn't go to Oz directly. Pirates could have, because we know pirates trade.
If I remember correctly, there is a poppy field in the Enchanted Forest. Yes, it's there, but it's it's in a very dangerous part of the Enchanted Forest, though, and it's far away or something like that.
Is that on the map?
That is not on the map. There's a poppy field on the map, but it's in Oz, not in the Enchanted Forest. Hey, I gotta go back and see where this is.
Yeah. But Emma instructs Mulan she has 10 hours if she does not get back to cut down the beanstalk no matter what. So
when someone says 10 hours, you still give them 10 minutes more than what they gave you. Mulan, and you did it early, bitch, premature.
Well, Hook and Emma.
Why didn't you look up? All you had to do was look up, just tilt your head 30 degrees. You would have seen Emma.
From the sounds of it, it sounds like Emma fell quite a bit before she got to the bottom.
Well, part of the problem is we have Hook and Emma who make it to the top of the beanstalk, and then they're trying to figure out the plan, and they're like, we could just wait for the giant to go to sleep, and Emma's sitting there going, I gave her 10 hours, there's no fucking chance that I'm waiting for this giant to go to sleep. We're not gonna have a way home by then. But she doesn't say that to Hook. So she's like, no, let's knock the giant out with these poppies and that. So, they do this whole plan.
Those two were giving each other.
The looky looks.
Looky, I got hooky.
I mean, Hook was very forward and was like, you know, you want me kind of thing, and she was
Well,
like,
yeah, but like this had this has nothing to do with love. This was all about Hook trying to get into Emma's pants, that's what Hook does. Well, Hook is what he does.
And I forgot he had a tattoo with Mila's name on it.
Yeah, and that's gonna be kind of awkward in the bedroom, dude.
Yeah, I actually don't think, because we've seen Hook in short sleeves and stuff rolled up, not short sleeves, not like he's walking around in a tank top, but we've had his sleeves rolled up before.
We haven't.
Yes, and I don't remember seeing.
Oh wait, yeah.
I don't remember seeing that tattoo later.
It's not something we looked at. It's not something.
Maybe he got it removed.
I mean,
that tattoo laser removal.
No, it's just magical ink remover, you know.
Or maybe he just drew it on.
He's like, yo, Regina, can you? yeah, can you get rid of this?
Or maybe when he died, he lost all of his tattoos. And I'm talking about the second time he died.
Not all the tattoos.
I don't know.
So in the meantime, Hook gets covered under some debris. Emma has to threaten the giant, but in the end, she ends up with the compass. She also spares the giant's life, which she barters for not once but twice, to get a deal made with Anton. But at this point, I'm sitting there going, well, we know that Henry is related to Rumpelstiltskin. Well, I know Emma's not, but she's sure learning a lot, from Rumpel, making deals like this over here. So she gets her life spared. On top of it, she gets Hook to safety, and she gets a 10-hour head start from Hook, who remains handcuffed up the top of the beanstalk. Tiny will free him in 10 hours. So, yeah. I don't know, I really, really like this story. I think this was my favorite of the 2 episodes, but if I had to choose this versus the next time we see Jack and the Beanstalk with Jacqueline and James and the Giant Peach, I will 100% choose that one instead of this one. So.
Well, I am just disappointed. Like I love James because I just love the potential that James and David could have had they met, and and it was a stupid fucking jealous boyfriend thing, but not really. But he acted like his boyfriend, even though he was his brother. That whole story arc, well, not even a story arc, like a thing that happened in an episode, was just so fucking disappointing. So it's like whenever I look at James, I'm like, why? Fuck you. We could have had it all. You just had to fuck it up.
Yep.
That's what happens when you get raised by a tyrant.
Well,
speaking of tyrants,
in this episode, I did like the whole Beanstalk that episode, and Mary Margaret attacking Mulan, I think threw Mulan for a freaking loop.
Mulan can kick your ass, Mary Margaret. So, bitch, don't try.
She was holding her own.
Mulan was totally ready to stab a bitch.
Mulan was not prepared for what Mary Margaret was about to do, but if the 2 of them ended up in an actual sword fight, Mulan would destroy Snow. Just saying.
I mean, who's the one with the armor, first of all?
I know, but it's like, I think Mulan didn't realize how strong Mary Margaret is, especially when it's about your child. You will do amazing things.
But it's Mulan.
Sure. So speaking of tyrants, the next episode, Child of the Moon, we find out that King George did in fact make it over with the curse.
Oh, great.
We've been seeing him in the background driving cars. He's been peeping on David creeper. And stuff. He's been a creeper.
This dude has nothing better to do.
Same actor who played Charles Widmore on Lost, but he played a very ruthless character on there too, and he's almost no different from King George.
What is this? What is his plan?
Just to cause trouble.
Yeah, but none of this affects you, dude.
He wanted to overthrow power and become the mayor.
How are you going to do that? Bitch, nobody's backing you up in this town.
They were.
Nobody in this town knows you.
They were.
No, they were ready to back him. They were ready to kill Red.
Yeah.
They were ready.
Yep, poor Gus. Poor Gus.
I honestly forgot that they killed him off this early.
Yeah,
Why
Poor
did they do
Billy.
I don't know what was worse, the fact that Gus got killed, or the fact that Red turned him down for no fucking reason.
Well,
I think the
doesn't-
fact that
there was a
Red turned
reason.
him down for no reason and then he died.
I know,
So,
right?
You know,
No,
that,
Her reason was that it was full moon. She needed to get locked up. She didn't want to eat him.
She should just say, I don't want to eat.
He knew who she was.
Does
He knew all about her. Why couldn't she just like, it's a full moon tonight?
Well, he
I
didn't
feel-
know about her cloak and why she needs
Yeah.
it.
I feel like Belle was part of that issue too.
yeah.
No,
I-
not for nosing.
You know what? You've been locked up, girl. You don't know when some girl needs your help. Like, get the fuck out. Belle,
She's been
you
watching
stupid
a
bitch.
lot of reality TV, because we have that now.
But still, she should have just told him straight up, it's a full moon. He probably
I'm
would have been
gonna kill
like,
you.
dude, I understand. Okay.
Like, wait a second, okay? Can you wait?
When do people ever tell the truth in this fucking show?
Well,
Oh,
it'd be great if we did that, but
it
Never.
would be amazing if they tell the truth.
then we wouldn't have a show. And
There's only one character who has done nothing but tell the truth on this whole show.
It wasn't Pinocchio.
Rumpelstiltskin.
no, he has
He's
not.
lied through his fucking teeth too. He's
He's
not
told
exempt.
nothing but the truth.
He's
No,
not
he has.
exempt.
He has twisted words before. Yes, I will give you that, Dom. He has not. He has omitted certain information and has told the essential truth. But no, he has fucking.
It's
lied.
lie by omission, but not direct lies.
No, he
Lie
has,
by
no, he has,
omission is still a lie.
he has
Has
lied.
lied.
He has fucking lied directly.
Yeah.
Give
Lie
me
by
one
omission,
example of
so
a
lie.
direct lie.
Your mom's dead.
Yep.
Who?
He told that to Mayflower. Your mom's dead. She wasn't dead. He
Yeah,
lied to her.
he killed
lied,
her.
he
She was
lied.
dead.
No.
No, he said that
Before.
before.
When she initially left with Hook, she said he told her your mom is dead.
He told Mayflower.
You can't
Yeah.
use magic to bring someone back from the dead. Need I say more?
Maybe. Anyway. Yeah, so Gus, unfortunately, poor Billy, was cut down by Charles Widmore. I mean, excuse
cut
me,
down.
by King George. Yeah. In an attempt to gain control over the
See, there's part of
town,
you over
rally
here,
them
but
up,
over there at the same time.
in an attempt to rally them up against David, which we later found out that he also stole Ruby's cloak. And then to top things all off, when everything doesn't go his way, he takes Jefferson's hat and throws it in the fire.
You know, it sounds like he's had her cloak for a very long time because
yeah.
she said as soon as she switched over, like as soon as they got their memories back, she'd been looking for the cloak and hadn't been able to find it. So she thought that it hadn't came over with the curse.
Yeah,
So
she
it
even
sounds
checked Gold Shop, so...
Yeah.
Well,
It sounds like
apparently
George
he
We
had
all
it for a
know
long
King
time.
George's his thing was always to get David. Was always to get
Always.
David no matter what.
Mhm.
And so it hasn't changed. And
Well, we never saw
Well,
him
he's
in
not-
town prior to this episode, right?
No.
Well,
No,
he
yeah,
was-
he's been
he-
lurking.
he's been
was
lurking
the
in the
attorney.
background. He'd be
He was
like
the
in the
attorney in, like,
car,
episode.
and he would be in the background. You
Okay,
know.
so
He's been in
rather,
Granny's
let me
a couple times.
rephrase that. We have not seen him in the town prior to the curse breaking.
We saw him in one episode when Mary Margaret was framed for Catherine's death. He was the town attorney, and he was, exactly what that sounds like, a fucking attorney.
Okay. Yep.
That was the only time we've ever seen him.
Do we
In
know?
story.
Do we know what
Sure.
his name was?
Spencer, I think. Something like
Asshat?
something like that.
Douchebag. Can we?
Huh.
Dickhole. I mean, I can go on all night long.
Okay. Go
There
ahead.
are many, many names to call him.
Some
ahead,
weird
you have the
British
floor.
name.
See, it's like ever since he decided not to marry King Midas's daughter, which they took her golden boyfriend.
Albert
She's
Spencer.
a lake. Took her golden boyfriend to a lake and got him revived.
Yeah,
and
both
then they got-
figuratively and literally.
Yeah, exactly. But so she went off with him, and he was just pissed off because he didn't get Midas's fortune. That too. Because Midas was
that's
rich
as much
because of
that's
his
as much as Catherine's fault as it is David's fault. She wasn't
Exactly, but
either
he
of them were
blamed-
going to marry each other.
He blamed David because he wasn't like James, and it's just like he blamed him for the things that he was doing, not what actually James was doing, kind of thing. Punishing James for shit that he was doing, and the shit that he caused. It's just
I doubt James would have married
no.
Midas's daughter either. Like, I'm sure James wasn't the perfect child. You know he wasn't.
No.
And I think it's interesting. We haven't seen King George's backstory. With most of the villains and almost all of the villains on this show, we see why they are the way that they are.
We know why the way
we
he
know
is.
a little bit. His wife couldn't bear children for some reason.
Yeah, because she got cursed because he was a douchebag.
We haven't
It's kind
seen
of the
it.
same.
He probably
it's the
made
same
this
way.
shit
Like,
up.
I think, you know how the Beast in the Disney movies, he gets cursed because he rejects the old woman for shelter and stuff. I kind of think it was the same thing with King George. There was an opportunity where he could have been friendly. He could have been a nice guy. He could have given somebody a chance, but he didn't. And it happened to be a witch, and he got cursed because he's a dickhead.
I think he's joining us in chat is Rumpelstiltskin. He says, "Hello, dearies."
Get the hell out of my chat. I'm
Rude.
kidding.
Rude.
Yeah, don't curse me.
Don't curse me. This is the last episode that we actually see Albert Spencer, King George, in Storybrooke until season 6. Huge gap. Four season gap for this character.
Well, glad to know you have the actor on call.
Yeah.
He was hiding out.
I mean, I would hide out too.
Himself.
Whatever.
We do though see King George in flashbacks and stuff plenty of times between now and then. But in terms of Storybrooke, it's been 4 seasons. So it was revealed in season 6 that after the whole incident of him burning Jefferson's hat and everything, that they took Spencer and placed him in a hospital ward to prevent him from wreaking any more havoc. So that's where he's
that's where he also found him.
But it's not like that place is difficult to escape from.
Right. No, but that's where when David went down there, he grabbed him out of the insane asylum thing and was like about ready to kill him.
You know what?
Oh yeah, with his father and all that.
I don't. You know what? I just want to find out what the hell is up with that one fucking nurse. Please, God, answers.
They totally had a plan for her because that is totally a reference to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I don't know why they haven't done anything with her.
No, and they had the Indian guy, mopping the floors. That's the same movie.
I swear there was going to be like an episode for them. I'm sure there had to have been, but like maybe like for some reason like they just like dropped the story, or maybe for budget cuts, I don't know. But like they had to have had something with that.
Well, Nurse Ratched, she's very interesting because she's literally the only character that we've ever had whose Storybrooke counterpart coincided with her actual storybook counterpart. She's Nurse Ratched in Under the Curse, and she's Nurse Ratched in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. So,
she just sticks with what she knows.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, Dr. Will was kind of the same.
Well,
no, he was Victor.
Well, maybe his first name was Victor.
It was Victor, but
they never called him by his name. They always called him Doctor.
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 Dr. Frankenstein.
No, I'm almost positive that he had a different name. Let me see. They didn't mention it. Yeah, no, it's Victor Frankenstein.
Yeah, and they called him Doctor because when he was sitting in the little...
Right, no, I'm saying, so his name isn't Victor Wales, it's Victor Frankenstein.
No, I'm saying, we don't know if that's her name, Nurse Ratched. We don't know. We just know that...
is Doctor.
It is. He's Doctor. But we don't know if that's Nurse Ratched. We know the character from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. That's what she's imitating. We don't know if that's her real name because they've never said her name.
So Carlos in chat says maybe she's supposed to be Jane. I don't think so.
Have you seen her?
No, she's too old.
Yeah.
But I would like to see Jane and Tarzan in this show. Maybe we can, now that we're like kind of like having like a soft reboot. I would like to see some new characters that we haven't seen before, and luckily we are getting Tiana next season, who I'm excited about. And you better fucking put Dr. Facilier in this damn show.
Oh, please. Jeez. He's like, you know, we've cycled through the villains in the last like 10 years, and you know, we've had reboots and we've had like live action, but like seriously, Dr. Tay, like, he's just one of the best villains. He has one of the new best villain songs other than Scar of Be Prepared, and
he's
it's
just
like
fucking creepy.
Give it.
And he's so suave.
Oh, he's amazing. I mean, if I had the Princess and the Frog DVD or anything, I'm pretty sure it'd be ruined by now, because both me and my daughter just watched the shit out of it.
Yeah. No, even on the Once Upon a Time wiki that I'm looking at right now, it says Nurse Ratched is the only character in the entire franchise whose Storybrooke counterpart is the literary-based character as opposed to the Enchanted Forest counterpart of other characters.
I don't ever remember them saying her name, but that's just me.
I don't think they've ever said her name.
No, I think no. I don't know. It might have been said like at a con with Adam or something.
They don't even refer.
It's
to
in
her
all the
as-
scripts. I know that much.
Well,
Well, they
see,
might
that's
have
why.
just.
That's why I think they had something planned for her.
Mm-hmm.
If they
They
named
could-
the script.
They just named her in the scripts because were they just going to put nurse?
Well, they
A-
could have. There's no
They
other
They
nurse.
could have, but
Awesome.
but she was definitely molded and shaped after Nurse Ratched. Whether or not that was going to be her real name the whole entire time, we don't
Well,
really
it's
know.
interesting if
So
we had.
I wanna learn why she's Nurse Ratched and she doesn't have a counterpart. Why Regina kept her that way? Because obviously Regina knows her personally, because every time
Maybe
she
they
walks
were
in there,
friends.
she's like,
Maybe she was her nanny,
Oh,
maybe.
that'd be interesting.
her
That would be
nurse,
interesting.
as
Yep.
they called them back then. Their nurse.
The handmaiden. Mm.
No, would be her nurse. It'd be
What if
her nanny.
Carlos, you have all these theories, and some of them, like, you should like go and write this yourself. But Carlos says, what if Nurse Ratched is Anna and Elsa's mother? Who knows? Maybe she survived the shipwreck, and it would make sense. No, because she got killed on an island in Africa after giving birth to a baby boy.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, and it's not Nurse Ratched with a T. It's Nurse Ratched with a D.
Ratchet. Okay.
Yeah.
Not Ratchet. She ain't Ratchet.
Yeah.
She's Ratchet.
But yeah, no, and then all right. So in before we get to the flashbacks this episode, we also the dwarves did find the fairy dust, the diamonds rather, in the mine to grind into fairy dust, which led to a really funny scene because just before that, we had Grumpy telling Happy that just because it's called Happy Hour doesn't mean you have to be there. That was probably my favorite line between both these episodes.
And if
Grumpy ruining everything.
I would have said to Grumpy, no. I am happy and I want to be happy. I want to go to happy hour, so fuck you. Bye, Grumpy.
But we wouldn't have magic if he didn't do that. But.
That's true.
Grumpy
Well,
ruins
you would have
everything.
found it. You would have found it a week later.
If he was so concerned with like staying in there and mining constantly, they should set up shifts instead of running them to the bone, to the point of breaking. You need a break.
Okay.
You cannot work constantly.
There's 7 of them, but no, there are actually 6 because the 7th he thinks he's a pharmacist. So there's 3. So it could be 2. 2 shifts with 3, or 3 shifts with 2. There's 6. You can figure this out.
Yeah.
I mean, don't rely on David because he doesn't like getting his hands dirty, apparently. So.
Even though he was a shepherd, he touched sheep poo.
You like shoveled shit like all day. You can
I
handle
know,
it.
right?
He can't get his hands dirty, but he can get his hands shitty.
Shit.
And then we had Ruby, of course, who was worried about turning into a wolf, which she was manipulated this whole episode by King George to make her believe that she had actually killed Gus or
and
Billy.
I bet you he's the one that let her out.
Oh, I guarantee you he let her out. Guarantee you.
He let her out.
Because she has no memory.
Who's to say she didn't kill anybody else on the way out there? There are some characters we haven't seen in a long time. I'm
pretty sure she elaborates later on in the season that when she does get out and when she does black out, she goes straight for the forest. So, I mean, she might be killing critters out there, but not people.
Well, you go straight to the forest, but there could be people in the forest.
But I think she's learned to, with her mom, learn to control. So I think she might, now that she's kind of been able to control it a little more, she probably remembers what goes on. She has more of the connection between her and the wolf now.
She was just rusty this episode, is what it was.
Well, she even said it, it's been 28 years since I've turned.
I mean, to be fair, those 28 years, you weren't exactly a wolf because, you weren't even wearing a cloak. And the curse took care of that for you.
In a sense, but she was like a vixen, but,
No, I'm just saying, she didn't have to worry about turning because the curse took care of that. So, technically, whatever. I mean, sure, you could say you're rusty.
Yeah. Yeah. But, because Ruby was so worried this episode, and then all that went on. But by the end of it, when they found the cloak and David stood up for her and, helped her regain control, she's like, no, I'm going to go running. She's all confident about it again.
Never came back.
Yep. She went running and never, ever came back. No, we see her a couple more times this season. Because later on we are going to have the setup for the Dr. Whale relationship that never happened.
Mm-hmm.
So
then you never come back, and then
she comes back, and she then we got her with Merida, and then we got her with Dorothy. And so.
Yeah, she came back and she realized she was batting for the wrong team.
Yeah.
Or maybe there are bisexual people in the world. So.
That's true. That's true. I feel like
maybe she just had too much during the whole curse. She had too much men. She was just like,
she was like, I'm done with this shit. Y'all are fucking pigs. Let me try something new.
Yeah.
There is a song out there that is "Men Are Pigs." So yeah, okay.
Turn of events. Men are pigs, and Ruby is now the big bad wolf. She's gonna huff and puff and blow their house down.
That was clever.
Where are the three little pigs?
She ate them.
She ate them.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see that episode.
She was the big bad wolf.
One of which was the butcher that Rumpel turned into a pig.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Poor Peter.
Look at that. Look at how we're tying stuff together right now. Once, come on.
Does anybody read Fables?
Get on the ball.
Fables.
No. Yeah, it's basically Once Upon a Time before Once Upon a Time, but it's all these fairy tales. Live in New York, and the three little pigs, they're these Jersey accent speaking chain smokers.
I mean, I do read this. I have a few times actually.
But the three little pigs are they're
from Jersey,
and they smoke and they drink and they actually killed each other. So that's what happened to them.
I mean, I did just watch the Fable episode of Supernatural. So the three little pigs and the big bad wolf were in that one. It was funny. Very funny.
Yeah. So then this episode we also dealt with the flashbacks with Ruby, right? This is we have Ruby and Snow running from the Queen's Guard, so this is left over from, other stories, other flashbacks that we've seen. Ruby's confronted by another wolf after she gets split up from Snow, where Ruby finally gets to meet her mother, Anita.
Yay.
So
who's kind of a bitch.
Kind of.
Granny
at
lied.
first she wasn't. At first
Going
she
back
wasn't.
to liars.
Yeah, and for as Red Bandit says in chat, for anyone who watched Pretty Little Liars, Annabeth Gish, who plays Red's mother in this episode, was Dr. Sullivan in Pretty Little Liars.
She's played other things too. I think in the 80s. So.
Yeah.
It didn't click. They looked too different in the shows. I couldn't.
But is this Granny's daughter, or is this Granny's daughter-in-law?
I'm pretty sure it's Granny's daughter because Granny was a wolf too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Granny was a wolf.
I think it's genetic on the women's side.
At a certain age, you just stop.
Yeah, but Granny didn't.
It's kind of like period. You go through
Y'all, being a werewolf has been used many times as a metaphor for lady problems. Granny doesn't agree with Anita's teachings, and she wanted to keep Red away from that. And here's what I think. I think Anita actually ate Ruby's dad, and that's why Granny took her away.
So like a praying mantis kind of deal?
Kind of.
It could have been. It was like Ruby did with Peter.
That's true. But, it feels like, Anita had been a wolf a long time before Daddy died. So.
And I think it was Alex who mentioned Anita, and that she might be the Anita from 101 Dalmatians. I don't think she is. And I don't think there was ever a plan for her to be, because that's kind of really far out there, even for this show.
Yeah.
I mean, Pongo is Archie's dog. We have not seen Roger or Anita, even with Cruella in the picture. So I never
They
really.
live in that fictional London.
I guess so. They must.
Yep. But not only is do we meet Ruby's mother, but we also meet her pack, essentially, who they teach her to embrace the wolf, to prevent her from blacking out, and all the time Ruby's thinking, the pack, everybody they have they're looking out for her. They're trying to help her out.
Yeah.
Well,
and they do help her out.
And they do.
She's been alone for so long to finally find somewhere where she fits in, where people understand what's going on with her, is a big thing to her.
Yeah.
And
there's no one of her kind for however old she is. She's probably like, how old is Ruby? Like 21?
She's got to be early 20s.
She at least she can drink, so we know that much.
Well, and she's fairly new to this. It's still new to her. Like, she's just discovered that she was a wolf, and
she discovered it after she killed Peter that she was the wolf.
Yeah.
Because before then she was blacking out and she didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
They just knew that there was a wolf running around at night killing people.
Yeah.
And then when she found out it was her, she was like,
to find somebody who are these people who are exactly like you, and they know how to control it, because this clearly freaks her out.
And they know what you're going through, and it's just, they preyed on that too. They were totally counting on that.
But the thing is, they actually did help her, and she uses this knowledge that she's learned in present day. So, like, this wasn't all that bad of an experience, even if they are batshit crazy. But it's kind of like it's one of the rare occasions where you find your people and they actually do help you out.
Well, and then they
did help her.
Yeah.
Except in this episode, she was not just looking for an understanding; she was looking for acceptance, and they weren't accepting of her fully.
Yeah.
No.
But Snow was.
Well, they were. But they didn't accept. They didn't accept outsiders in their pack. The pack is
because if she's half and half, they didn't accept her human side.
Yeah. Well,
they all have a human side.
They all have a human
They all
side.
have a human side, but they don't accept, having a sympathy for, Snow and like things like that. Like,
just because they have a human form, though, does not make them human.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, is she half wolf and half human? Was her father a full-blooded human, or was he a wolf?
Oh, these are like those prude purebred werewolves.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going on here.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that complicated, to be honest.
Or they just hate humans. But...
They just don't like humans. They don't have anything to do with humans.
They don't like her being sympathetic. They don't like her, having, I don't like. She's very much human because that's the way Granny raised her to be. Yeah. She has a heart versus, she can make the hard choices. Whereas it's like, you know what, this went wrong, so they die. It's that simple for them.
They're very.
Because that's what Jake said. What maybe she killed Ruby's dad. Well, if he was human, maybe I don't know. What did she just kill him? Maybe he did something she didn't like, and she thought that he betrayed her in some way, and then that's where her hatred came.
Well, I'm wondering if this was supposed to be in that arc that Ruby was supposed to get, and I'm hoping that eventually down the line we do get it, but I don't know if we're going to, because we jumped back.
I mean, once the show is over, though, doesn't mean that the story for Once Upon has to end, because we do have We do have novels and stuff. They could do comics.
There is a novel of Ruby.
Yeah.
About her and how she met. Y'all remember Graham, Sheriff Graham?
Yes.
Yeah.
There was a whole story about him and her, like back when season 1 premiered.
Yep.
Well, yeah, because
about his wolves.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's called Red's Untold Tale. If anybody is interested in picking it up, it was released September 22nd of 2015. So it's about 2 years old now. So
okay,
it was not running alongside season 1. That book, I believe, that was running alongside season 1. That was a comic book. That was a graphic novel called Shadow of the Queen that starred Regina. There was another graphic novel that came out April 1st of 2015 called Out of the Past, and revolves around Rumpelstiltskin, Belle, Hook, Regina, and the Mad Hatter had stories in there. And then just recently, this year, April 25th of 2017, we had a book come out called Regina Rising. So
okay.
Oh, that was okay. What made me think of this was you said about the book was Regina and Hook, and that. Remember we said in that new Hook. Well, before they went up on the thing, he was like, Your Highness, and he was like really close to her face. They had that. She's like, I know you, and he's like, I know you, but we're not going to tell anyone that we know each other, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I just had that feeling that it's like,
I feel like Hook remembers very vividly how he knows Snow, but Snow has no fucking idea. Like it's been like torn out of her head somehow.
Oh god, that's gross.
Yeah.
No, I think she knows, but she's like, I'm not going to say anything.
Really?
Like, it doesn't need to be said.
They could have avoided so much bullshit if she would have just been like, I know you, and then made decisions. Hey.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
But
I'm actually looking right now in this graphic novel called Out of the Past, the one with the 4 different characters in it. The one for the Mad Hatter called the arc is called Tea Party in March, and the very first sentence in the summary says, "In the kingdom of Camelot, a man named Jefferson has infiltrated a palace that is hosting a party." So that has me really interested because we know that Jefferson is a portal jumble. Yeah. Portal jumper.
He's a poodle pumper.
I'm gonna have to look on Barnes and Noble online and see if that's there because that sounds really friggin' interesting.
All of this is official canon, so like everything that happens in these books is considered 100% canon to the Once Upon a Time universe. So.
Maybe we should read it and then do a podcast on it.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah, down the line we can fill that in.
Sometime down the line.
That'd be interesting.
Maybe next summer, because we're not going to be doing this next summer.
Maybe.
Well, we're going to do a rewind of another show, but we could add another show during the summer. That'd be okay.
Yeah. And then, so this episode, or the flashbacks anyway, end with Snow tracking down Ruby, coming in, unintentionally gets Quinn killed.
He was a jerk anyhow.
Yeah.
He was an
when
asshole.
the Queen's guards followed Snow to the den, and then Ruby's pack wants Snow dead, but that's when Ruby had to make a decision, and Anita was like, "Look, you chose her," and Ruby's like, "No, I chose me." And I was like, "Good for you, Ruby. Good for you."
But I also chose her.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, Ruby wasn't looking just for understanding. She was also looking for acceptance, and Snow was fully accepting of her, whether she knew about her curse, birthright or whatever.
She does know about her.
She knows about it, but she doesn't know about it.
Well, her grandmother, on the one side, accepted Ruby human, not Ruby wolf, and then her mother accepted wolf Ruby and not human Ruby, and then we have Snow, who's known her as both.
Yep.
And they found out together that she was the wolf, and they've been friends ever since. So and they've been traveling together, so it would make sense that it would be Snow to be the one to show her, these other people, they accept certain aspects of you, but I accept all parts of you.
Yeah.
That's what anyone wants. Anyone's just accept for everything.
I mean, that's one of Snow's pros, I want to say, but like she has a lot of cons
Of what
too.
little she has. Of it.
Yes.
Which is why I think Snow is like the true villain of this entire series, because I still have that theory that the reason why Grandmother Willow rejected her when she put her hand on that rock that was somehow connected to a tree that was supposed to give her answers, didn't give her the answers, not because there was a baby in her stomach, but because she was actually evil and didn't accept her.
Okay. All right. I can honestly see it because we know Blue is, we call her Shady Blue because she's evil as fuck too. So it's why not?
I don't think Blue's evil. I just think she's like
mean,
everyone else and doesn't tell the complete story or the complete truth.
We make the joke that
she has information in her head, and she doesn't think it's.
She has all of the information. She has the answers to everything. She just doesn't tell people.
Yeah, and maybe at the point she's just like, she's a fairy and what they're supposed to do.
And then at some point she's a teacher. She's a teacher teaching Norman Bates somewhere in a classroom.
When she told Tink, she goes, "We are observers. We don't get involved." That's how Tink lost her wings, because she got involved with Regina and showing her true love and all this other kind of stuff. They're observers. They don't get involved. And
but yet you're fairy godmothers and you involve yourself in your godchild all the time.
Yeah, I don't get it.
It's like they're.
Well, maybe it's because you were assigned a godchild and you're only supposed to like help them out. And she was in training. She was in training, but she didn't have a godchild. Yeah,
you weren't. You're supposed to. You're assigned a child. The fairy god. What I got is like you watch over them. You don't help them. You help them learn how to go their way, but you don't intervene in their life.
Well, intervene in their times of great need.
Yeah.
Like with Cinderella.
I mean,
and which is why
I
would like a story arc about the fairy godmothers.
We kind of got a teensy little one last season with Tiger Lily, and
but it was really that was really Fiona's story.
But
it still shed a little bit of light on the fairy godmothers.
That could be why Blue is not intervening and not giving up this information, because she's like, I'm still going by that rule. I'm an observer. I'm not going to get involved in these people.
No, I think
unless they
come
to me. Unless they come to me and go, hey.
I think Blue would be, very much involved right now if it weren't for Fiona and what the fuck she did back in the day.
Yeah, I don't know. Like Blue's, we know Shady Blue, but Mother Superior. She was actually, there was a deleted scene in this episode with her. Nothing major. It was just when shit was hitting the fan. David was speeding down Main Street and Blue jumped into the car with him, just out of the blue, and just sped away.
Well, that's significant.
Yeah, super shady Blue.
She just poofed in. It's like, let's
she
go.
opened the door, jumped in the car, and they drove away. Like,
well,
I don't know. It's on the DVD if you guys have the season 2 DVD.
She's like in the car. It's like,
No, she popped. No, it's just like Neil. She's in the back of the car. She's like, so where are we going?
That was creepy as well. But
oh my God.
she's what, the leader of the fairies. They have rules, and she's just one of those fairies that abides by the rules. She's really strict about
rules
the
that she made up.
And there's reasons why she made them up, and we don't know those reasons because they haven't
one of the big reasons
gave us a backstory.
One of the big
reasons, and one of them is Fiona, yeah. And so there's reasons. And these reasons, and she doesn't tell the other fairies exactly the reasons why for these rules, just that you need to follow them.
There's so many stories
Shady
you could
Blue
do with Blue.
Yeah,
it's not shady. She's just trying to. I think in her heart of hearts, she's just trying to save them.
She's
doing something wrong, or she wants to save them from making.
Then we can't condemn Rumple for holding back the truth.
I don't.
If she's doing it, then it's okay for Rumple, and it's definitely not okay.
Blue is actually a good fucking person, actually.
No, she's not.
Yeah, Rumple's just a piece of shit.
No, she's not. She's Shady Blue.
She will tell you if you come up to her and say, this, I need to know. She will tell you. Otherwise, if you did that to Rumple, he'd be like, and be like dancing around it, but he would never really tell you.
And then he'd be like, bitch, where's my money?
There have been instances where Blue was like, yeah, I can't tell you that.
Yeah.
Even if it was, detrimental and life-saving, he'd be like, no, I can't reveal that to you.
Blue is just as bad as Rumple.
Yeah.
We are not comparing Blue and Rumple.
Oh, yes, we are.
We are not.
Oh, yes.
Well, we are, but bitch, you won't lose.
There's reasons in the past. And
Blue
if we got a really good Blue background as to why she is the way she is and why she's such a stickler for these fairy rules as we have seen them.
She had a lot of
But it's not just fairy rules that she holds from people. There's a lot of stuff that Blue does not tell people.
Because fairies are not supposed to intervene, so she's not going to offer up this information.
Well, Rumple
or maybe
is a fairy.
She's just really fucking old and she just forgot.
Rumple is a fairy, so he applies under all the same rules.
He's half fairy.
He's not a fairy.
No, she was never a fairy.
She
became a fairy. Yes, she became a fairy after. So he's never been a fairy ever.
He's a fairy.
Well, I mean.
So
thank you, Rachel.
Next time we are covering, which is this Wednesday, 2 days from now, guys, we have Into the Deep, which is a Storybrooke central episode. This is the very first time that we do not have flashbacks and we do not have flash forwards in Once Upon a Time.
It's very concurrent.
Yes.
We do go in the Enchanted Forest, but
we do.
Everything's on the same timeline.
Yep. This is the very first episode that we deal with that. And then the other episode is another one of my favorites from this season. Queen of Hearts.
Hello, Cora.
Hello, Wonderland. Jake is just super excited.
We need to find a streaming service that has Wonderland and do Rewind next.
We
already
covered Wonderland.
But I want to watch it again.
You can watch it. We don't need to do a podcast for you to watch it.
Let's watch it again, and then we could talk about it and talk about all the plot holes that are in it and why we miss it so much and how Adam and Eddie should totally just write a Wonderland sequel. And, you don't even have to put it on the TVs. Just fucking write it and then put it online so we can read it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we will do something with Wonderland again. We will discuss
Y'all
this
haven't had
because we haven't had Jake on the show. This is, I'm telling you right now, this is the only reason why I'm considering this, because we have not had Jake on the show. It's his favorite series. So maybe not even a
Wonderland is
episode.
My favorite.
We might
series,
just do all of Wonderland. We might just watch it all, since it was a fairly short thing.
Yeah.
Watch it all and just have one podcast where we reminisce, talk about Wonderland once again. We might do that. So,
and
if that is the case, that will be next summer, though.
And the whole, Anastasia being Cinderella's stepsister. I think, since we're getting Drizella in season 7, and Anastasia is not anywhere in the promos and not even mentioned at all from what the writers have been saying, I am calling it now. Anastasia is this version of Cinderella's stepsister.
Well, like I said that, I was like, well, if they have different versions of Cinderella, different versions, maybe that Anastasia from Wonderland was a different versions.
Yeah. And they're using the actual names of the other stepsister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, that is possible. So. That is definitely possible. So I think that about wraps it up for us, though. Jake, where can people find you?
You can find me and all of my giggles and gore and monsters and mayhem here on YouTube at Jacob Salazar, or you can find me on Twitter, tweeting me throughout the week about the life at TNowherland. That is TONOWHERELAND. Join the Nowherland Society.
Nikki, where can people find you?
At a not so exciting place on Twitter at LadyVenom24, LadyVenom24.
The place is boring. Rachel, where can the people find you?
They can find me on Twitter at VikingWitch76, where I post cat pictures and funny memes and gifs, because that's how I Twitter now. And at Twitch at VikingWitch.
They made it too easy to add gifs to tweets now.
They really did.
Oh my god.
You can find me down below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM. And you can find us all and more on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter, Space. And right here on YouTube at /ASOTV Podcast for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows, games, and movies. Until Wednesday, see you guys later.
Yeah.
Anastasia is Cinderella's stepsister. Don't you guys dare try to change it, or I will turn you all into toads.
I'm not.
Jake
Carlos,
and
you ain't.
Jake and I have never tried to change that.
Yeah, the only confirmation was when I think it was Eddie had mentioned that was not the Wonderland version was not Cinderella's stepsister that
because
we
you're
knew.
saving her for this season.
But there's complete chance that she may be the Italian Cinderella, or the German Cinderella, or the French Cinderellas.
She's more German, maybe Scandinavian.
Or the Quentin Tarantino's version.
Yes, exactly.
Is there a version?
There is not.
That's
but
that's what next season's all about. Is it's about all these different versions of these storybooks that exist.
When we get to the Quentin Tarantino version of these stories.
Can we not? Because I don't like him.
Oh God, come on, please! Like Kill Bill, Sin City, give me that shit right now.
Oh.
I think, so the Cinderella we got in Once Upon a Time season 1, that's the French version, which is the original version. But there are other versions. There's the German version. There's the Russian version where she has slippers made out of fur because Russia.
Yep.